In today's world, the competition is high, with every country competing against each other to make their place at the top. The US with their dollar has been at the top for decades until recently. The dollar has been getting a lot weaker. We see that with higher interest rates and inflation. The bad news for the US is other countries have come together to put an end to its dominance as a superpower. There were superpowers in history. Before the US, different empires had come on top, like the Roman Empire or even the British Empire, but none of them could ever last forever. There was a time when currencies were backed by gold, and the country that had the most gold in their reserves would be the strongest currency. Before World War, the Ottoman Empire ruled a huge bloc that ultimately got weaker and divided into colonies under British rule, the strongest of the time. The British continued to rule until World War II, which is when the pound got hit badly, and there was a need for a new exchange currency, something that would be stable enough for people to trade in. The US, having the most of the world's gold, stood out, and as a result, the dollar became the global exchange currency. Other countries soon found a loophole in the gold standard system and started buying gold from the US, causing their currency to decline. Seeing this decline, the US took a step in the August of 1971 that would change the future of the US dollar forever. The US shifted from the gold standard to the fiat system, meaning that the US could print more dollars when needed, without having to worry about gold, while the value of their currency would depend on how many dollars another country holds. The US wanted to make its dollar more powerful, and so they worked out this agreement. Saudi Arabia agreed to sell their oil only in US dollars, and in return, the US had their back with military support. It was kind of like a trade-off to boost the value of the dollar. This proved to be a success and turned the US into a superpower. Soon, they had influence over other countries in terms of economic, political, military, and technological perspectives. But what exactly turns a country into a superpower? How does a country turn into a superpower? Different parameters define that the country has turned into a superpower. The thing that shows a country is a superpower is through its military meaning. These nations are well-equipped and technologically advanced. What this does is give them power over other countries around the globe. That is simple because their military power goes way beyond their own borders. They have the power and the privilege to have a say in international conflicts. They can participate in peacekeeping missions, and they influence geopolitical dynamics. This is mostly due to the fact they have a strong economy. A strong economy translates to a strong military. The economy of a superpower is usually both large and diversified, which is the reason they can rank at the top in terms of gross domestic product. The huge size of their economic output allows them to influence international trade, mostly due to their advancements in technology. Technological innovation is a hallmark of superpowers, and there's a reason for this. Every superpower invests heavily in research and development projects, so their scientists have the necessary funding to make breakthroughs in their respective fields. The more they advance in tech and other sectors, the economy of the country gets bigger and stronger. Overview of BRICS. Different nations have come together to form an alliance called BRICS. It consists of Brazil with an impressive and diverse economic portfolio that consists of agriculture, mining, and manufacturing, which brings a unique strength to the whole group. Then from Northern Asia, we have Russia, which comes in with its resource-rich economy. Russia is globally recognized as a country with lots of mineral resources and comes with one of the strongest militaries in the world. They have the largest stockpile of nuclear weapons and the world's second largest fleet of ballistic missile submarines. Next, there is India, which is another economic powerhouse. India is and has been rapidly growing its economy through IT services and manufacturing. If we talk about manufacturing, we cannot rule out China. China has the second largest economy in the world and continues to expand its economy up to this day through manufacturing and exports around the globe. China is the driving force behind economic policies, trade, and development initiatives within BRICS because of its economic strength. These nations have been working alongside each other, but then, a few years later, South Africa decides to join in with its mixed economy that majorly consists of mining and agriculture. There are a few reasons that when these countries come together, BRICS might become the new unbeatable superpower. They'll have a joint military. If these nations come together, they have an unbeatable military power. These member countries are committed to enhancing their military capabilities. Their main goal is to trade most of their arms and weaponry with each other, rather than buying weapons from the US. This will hit the US economy, because the US relies not only on countries holding US dollars, but also on selling weapons to other countries. This will mean that if the BRICS countries trade with each other, they will be self-sufficient when it comes to defense production. But the military isn't the only place they'll excel in. They will boost their technological advancements. Together, these BRICS countries will have the option to collaborate between themselves for technological advancements by carrying out exchange programs in their shared facilities. With all of their resources combined, they'll have a higher chance of achieving breakthroughs in different domains. This is all possible if they can overcome some of the issues they're facing. The issues BRICS is facing. The biggest issue BRICS has to face is the political differences between member nations. Because of a complex political landscape and expansion, there's a struggle for leadership roles within, leading to members getting hostile with each other. We see that with tensions between India and China. There is also a disparity in technological advancements and innovation capacities among BRICS nations, which can be resolved through collaboration in research and development. But as of now, this disparity is what hinders the group's goals of promoting trade and investment within their own selves. Financially, BRICS suffers from another perspective, and that is transparency. Their financial institutions suffer from a lack of transparency, and there is no formal structure that they have to go through. This is mostly because more and more countries are joining in, but for their own benefits, which further complicates stuff. There are also some major cultural differences between these nations that potentially lead to misunderstanding and social challenges. But if BRICS can somehow solve these issues, it has immense potential and might even surpass the mighty dollar. The potential to surpass the dollar. The main goal of BRICS countries is to reduce their reliance on the US dollar. Putin announced that BRICS will start a new BRICS currency, and that could be the very thing that they are looking for. Countries like Russia are under sanction by the US, which means they can't use US dollars to keep funding themselves up to a fixed number. But if BRICS launches its currency, and it becomes more widely acceptable compared to the dollar, the sanctions imposed on countries like these would be weaker and would further reduce the value of the dollar. If the dollar loses its value, the influence of the US will not be the same as it used to be once. And if this happens, it's going to be bad news for Americans in general, because this will affect their daily lives. The new BRICS currency could cause an economic crisis that will raise inflation even further than it ever was before, and the cost of living will go up even further. That is because this shift has the possibility to trigger instability within the financial market, affecting exchange rates and trade dynamics. The global economy is like one huge building that is made up of different currencies all fused together. When BRICS introduces their own currency, it will have to shake up the entire building to make room and will cause the building to collapse. This exact collapse is what is referred to as an economic crisis. What do you think about BRICS becoming a superpower? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in our next video, where we talk about China's collapsing economy. Or is it not at all? Let's find out next time.